Hi, my name is Carolyne Van Der Meer. I'm the author of Sensorial, a poetry collection. This book was just released by Anana, and I'm going to read a few selections for you today. The first of these is called Glamour. Glamour. He stands under the overpass on the corner of Guy and St. Antoine, holding a tennis racket. Before him, a massive concrete wall to practice on. Driving past, I could not discern the telltale yellow ball in his hand nor on his person. He stood beside a bicycle leaning on a kickstand, laden with overflowing carrier bags, all his belongings, and him in a dirty overcoat, baggy sweatpants, traces of soil, and through at the knees. He wasn't going to win any beauty pageants standing there, but he owned that tennis racket like no pro I've ever seen. The next one, I'm having trouble getting to my page. The next one is called Let Her Sleep, for Ruth Priscilla Colbath, 1849 to 1930. The vigil is long. Every night she lights the lantern, hoping Thomas Alden will return. Remembers his final words, "I'll be back in a little while, dear." Replays it over and over, coming no closer to the answer. Mauled, carried off by a bear, bound, gagged, kidnapped by thieves? She asks herself questions every day, working the land, blistered fingers raw and oozing, harvests adjective plants, cares for her children, runs a post office in Conway. There are whispers about her disappeared husband. They know her lantern lighting vigil and question her faith. They are embarrassed for her. She knows. So dedicates her life to homestead and a meager living. 36 years without complaint, tireless in her belief, then dies, exhausted. 3 years in the ground, bone cold, he returns. Legends of travels to Panama and Cuba, nearly raising her from the grave. But she sleeps, coaxed to rest by her fellow citizens. Thomas Alden Colbath's 39-year absence, while the stuff of legends, is more shameful than a host of lantern lighting ceremonies. Let us protect her in the oblivion, say the townsfolk. They do. This is called Buying Boots, Plateau Mont-Royal. They're oxblood, a word I have always loved, with wooden heels and metal studs up the sides. Ooh, ah, says my husband's mother, leaning in, age having tipped her farther forward than she wants to go. Her brittle, gnarled fingers braze the tawny leather as she asks what size. I tell her they're right for me. She begs me to try them on, and I peel down the zipper as she gasps at the workmanship. Yes, she says, try them. So I do, brushing over the silver rivets, as these are what I covet most in a pair of boots I hardly need. I stretch out my leg, imagine all manner of skirts and leggings to flatter their certain flair. My mother-in-law whispers she'll buy them for me, but it's our secret. I nod, kiss her cheek. When we leave, package in hand, she pleads for a rest on a nearby bench. Breath short, heart beating fast. She makes excuses, feels guilty for her decline, points out there are no silver rivets to hold her together, that quite plainly she has come undone. I'll treasure those oxblood boots, remember her tiny tremulous hands, caressing them. And the last one today is called My Father Came in Many Colors. Each was a hue that required tight adaptation, a nervous flexibility as if a gymnast, a mid-air somersault, a walk along the balance beam, a vault over the box horse. We found the right move and neatly executed. The colors were harder to predict. Sometimes he was red from the sun, vitiligo robbing him of pigment, leaving angry blotches in its wake. Other times yellow, jaundiced from a lack of expression, from sitting in his armchair, quietly smoking a puff every quarter of an hour, barely engaging. He could be white, the molten embers of a temper, angry about something undefined, incapable of articulating it, but we knew, because that fall from the balance beam, that faulty vault, had triggered a wasteland of silence, my mother bearing the weight of it for days. There was blue, those sky-colored eyes filled with mischief as he teased, razzing me till I cried because he couldn't find the line between just right and too much. But that glittering blue laughter was arresting, a fleeting approval we all sought. And now there is gray. That mane of black hair faded, eyes lightened by time, pigment gone, Parkinson's wasting him, moving him involuntarily, taking his voice without warning, a rainy day shadow of the virility that near destroyed us all, a mild-mannered gentleman reconciling all the colors in the twilight hours that remain. Thank you very much. I hope to read again for you soon.